It's Kyle here, and today I'll be reviewing Chindi by Jack McDevitt. I should say I'll apologize right away if I'm mispronouncing the title of this book. It's actually based on a Native American term, and I have no idea how to pronounce it, so hopefully I'm somewhat close, but that was my best attempt. This book is a sci-fi book, and it's set about 200 years from our present day, and it's kind of a very grounded sci-fi that's kind of based on, I would say, realistic technology. So like if you kind of guess what our technology might be like 200 years in the future. I think this book is trying to be very realistic about it. It's not going so far like it's like Star Trek where there's transporters and phaser guns and stuff like that. Like all the technology seems very grounded in what we have now, just more advanced. In this reality, humanity has advanced far enough in our space exploration that we now have technology that we're able to explore the galaxy. We basically are able to do light speed and stuff like that. So we are able to kind of explore other planets and for scientific, but also kind of like beginning early stages of colonization. But it seems like it's more at this point more for exploration and that side of things. And one of the basic ideas of the book, humanity has found some other life forms, but none of them are really on the same level of us as a society or technology-wise. But we have found all sorts of evidence that like other life forms have reached similar levels, and it just seems like they collapse. Like there's almost a natural cycle that these societies go through in civilizations, and they're just not very long lasting. So at this point, humanity's almost began to gave up on finding another advanced spacefaring life form in the galaxy. And that's where this book kind of sets up. Humanity has like a research vehicle, research ship, I should say, that's kind of studying this star for a specific reason I'm not going to get into, and they pick up a mysterious radio signal, and that's when they discover there's like a cloaked satellite at the star also studying it, and they go like, well, this is not our satellite, who made this satellite? And that begins our storyline. And that's kind of where we're introduced to our main character, Priscilla Hutchins, who for the rest of the book is really referred to as Hutch. And she is a captain for a ship in the Academy, which is kind of the group that's in charge of exploring space for Earth. And she's actually getting ready to retire, but they kind of convince her, like, hey, we really want to figure out what this signal is going through. Do this one last mission for us. We'll make it worth your while. But there's a catch. And the catch is there's this organization on Earth called the Contact Society, which is not really affiliated with any governments, but they're obsessed with the idea that Earth has been visited by alien life forms in the past, and there's still aliens out there in space, but like the governments are really not that focused on finding them, and if they really just put the effort into them, we could make contact, and it would be a positive thing for humanity. And one of the benefactors for this group is this super wealthy, I would say, in our world, kind of think of somebody like Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk, who basically says like, all right, I'm really obsessed with this. I'm so convinced, like, I'll basically build y'all a brand new spaceship and give it to the Academy, but in exchange you have to let us do one mission to try to see if we can make a serious attempt to make contact with an alien life form who's on a similar level of us in regard to civilization and technology, or perhaps even more advanced. And that's the storyline. So Hutch is taking this small group of members of the Contact Society to kind of investigate this thing. Initially, Hutch kind of thinks this is a waste of time and they're not going to find anything, but very quickly becomes evident like something's going on here. And she's in a weird position because she technically works for the Academy, but for this one mission, the Contact Society is kind of in charge, so she's having to answer to this super wealthy guy who is very smart, but at the same time doesn't exactly know what he's doing. There's the members of Contact Society there all have their own little levels of expertise, but they're not necessarily related to space. They're all accomplished in their own fields. So you have this wealthy billionaire investor. You have a guy that's kind of been like his lifelong friend, but kind of acts as his bodyguard and fixer. You have a funeral home operator, weirdly. You have a very accomplished artist. You do have a well-respected scientist. I would say think of somebody like this versions of like Neil deGrasse Tyson, who's a very well-respected scientist, but has also become a famous science communicator. You have a very famous actress and that's kind of the group. And they're all obsessed with this idea that aliens are out there and we need to make contact, and it'll be a good thing for humanity. And as they begin to investigate and they trace the signals from the satellite, they kind of go from planet to planet, and they keep on finding more and more evidence of this alien civilization out there. But as they go along, some things work out for them, some things don't work out for them. It's a very interesting book. I really enjoyed it a lot. The character's really well done. I really enjoyed the character of Hutch a lot. Very interesting. Even when the characters were making dumb decisions, you could see the logic they were going with, which is something I always appreciate in a book. When I hate a book when characters are making dumb decisions and there's no logic behind it, even from the character standpoint. It's just like the author needed this character to make this decision and really put the effort into like giving it any reasons why the character would actually do this. Every decision that a character makes in this book makes sense from that character's point of view, even if it's the wrong decision. And I really enjoy that. Also, again, like I said, I like the fact that the technology is very grounded. You can see, like, this seems like stuff that humanity actually could do in 100 to 200 years. It's not so far advanced that you're like, oh, this is clearly not, grounded in our reality. This book, I did look a little bit more into it. It seems like this book is kind of like a loosely a series, but the books are kind of standalone. So I wasn't aware when I was reading this book, but like there's apparently a few other books before this where Hutch is a character. But at no point did I feel lost reading this book. Like I felt like I was missing stuff out. So I think again, this is kind of a series where you can read it and enjoy it as a series, but if you read it as a standalone, you're not going to be lost. So I would say if you haven't read any Jack McDevitt's book and you like sci-fi, a little bit more grounded, realistic sci-fi, this is something you might enjoy. Actually, a book that it kind of reminded me of is Carl Sagan's Contact. Although Contact's set in our present day, but the similar thing of like the quest for making first contact and the individuals and the obsessions that go into that. So I've actually done a review for Contact before, so I encourage you to check that out as well. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this review. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you have yet, please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate the support. So in the comment section below, let me know some sci-fi books that you've really enjoyed. They're a little bit more grounded and realistic in the technology they use. It feels like it's a little bit more realistic. Look forward to seeing your recommendations. Again, thanks for watching. I'll see you the next time, and happy reading.